might be to get some of the lights for this. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the first one right away, just using one of your answers. Okay. So, can somebody please raise their hand and tell me again what to put here? What country did we look at the map last week and start looking at all these hands? 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Nate. Dean. And you know the other day I called your brother Dean and you, yeah. So I'm sorry. And I don't typically do that. What country are we in? Thank you, sir. So if you did not put this already, which I'm sure all of you did, please put shh. Maurice, honey, look at me. I love you, but we are still in the middle of the lesson, so please be thank you. Okay. All right. Yes, Adrian. I can't hear you. What? Oh yeah, of course we could start. Yep, I wanted you guys to start independently. Yep, I expected you to. I had Miss Teeny's class and Miss Finance class. Most of the kids had a little bit more time. They could finish most of it by themselves. But it seemed like you guys were a little more nervous, or like weren't as, you know. Don't be nervous. You guys know this. You guys told me stuff about it last week. You guys know this. You're better than I am. Sorry, I need you to see your seat, though, okay? All right, number 2. Why were Leonidas and his father tending and harnessing the horses? Where were they going? What were they doing? What were they doing that for? Charlie? They were going where? She says a fair, and I can see what she would call it that. Can someone help a little bit? Very good. Fairly. Luke again?
Mount Olympus.
They were going to Mount Olympus, and particularly if somebody wanted to be really fancy, I had a couple second graders even tell us to watch something. The foot. Later becoming the Olympics. Kaylee, you know? They went to sell their pottery, to sell their goods, good. And they went to kind of watch the foot races. So, I will put to go to Mount Olympus. And, okay. If you would like to, you can add, man, I would love to see you add to attend the foot races, to sell their pottery, to sell their wares. I would love that. But this is an acceptable answer. But if you want to challenge yourself and add a little more, that's what you should do. Okay. All right. Number 3. The question looks long. I think that's why some second graders, some of you were probably on number 3, you got a little nervous just by the amount of words that you saw. But the answer is easy. Leonidas and Ceres were going to the sanctuary at Olympia to sell their pottery and to be spectators at the races held in Zeus' honor. What story did his father, Ceres, tell Leonidas during their journey? It was the story of the what? The 12 what? Brody? 12 gods. Very good. Of the 12 gods and goddesses. Good. Jordan and Maurice, we're about to move on. If you guys didn't copy down these first three, you better hurry up, okay? Because you're going to lose those answers. Unless you know them, then you don't have to worry about copying them down. You better check out quickly, okay?
I already checked out.
Oh, you better hurry up then. Great, okay. So I'll give you guys a second. You know what though, you can't use the, your bathroom. Did you check out your book?
No.
Okay. You have to use your bathroom way far away. That's why you guys aren't supposed to use the bathroom during the library anymore. You know the bathroom that you're assigned to? Like you can't go to the nurse or anything. Did you know that, sweetie?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we did talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the only option if you can't wait. If it's an emergency, you gotta go all the way to that one, okay? I'm not supposed to let people go, but if it's an emergency, go ahead, okay? Alright. Sorry, yeah, just a reminder, right? Unfortunately, we can't use the nurse bathroom or the other bathroom. We can only use our assigned bathrooms. Sorry, Mark. Fun COVID time. Okay. Raise your hand if you're still writing number 3. All right, I'm going to move on to number 4, guys. Number 4, how are the gods and goddesses similar to humans? What did they feel that we also feel? Oh my gosh, one person, that's it? What did the gods and goddesses also feel that we feel, Ava? Love, that's an example. But love's not the only one of the word I'm looking for. Connor? Hurt's another example. What are these things called, though, that you're mentioning? Jordan? Hey, what? Oh, you're talking about the whole, parts? Yes, Gavin?
It's because they're living humans or human beings.
Well, they have, what are these things called that you're describing, Keely? Yep. That's not exactly the word loop.
Love, they can read.
Okay. All of these things you said before, though. Love, and yes, Geraldine. Feelings. Thank you, Geraldine. They have emotions. They have feelings. Sure, they get jealous. They feel love. They get hurt. Okay, I'm going to write the word emotions because that's how we actually heard it in the story. But if you want to write feelings, that's fine by me. Okay? I'm not saying I disagree with some of the other things you said, but this was our primary example of something similar. Okay. When you're done copying this one, I do have to erase these and we're going to move on. Great. Well, this is just one word, so. Cool. Awesome. Yes. Yep. We are going to flip over. Yep. Connor, I know there's people in the way there are fiction, but the custodians, I need you guys to stay in the seats, okay? So could you please go back to your seat? You can use your clipboard to lean on. Thank you. I'm sorry. All right. Let me just erase this, and I will move my paper down for you guys.
That's cool.
I know. I think so too. Okay. All right. So, if you could please flip over your paper. And then I'm looking for someone to tell me how humans, mortals, remember we're also known as mortals, the gods and the goddesses are immortal. That's a big hint on this one. How are they different from us? How are the gods and goddesses different from the humans or the mortals? I see one person that knows. I see 2 people that know. 3 people that know. Jordan, what do you think?
Powers.
Powers, definitely. That's an example. What's the big one, though? Kaylee, do you go get the door? Okay. Something to do that happens to human beings, to mortals, that never happens to gods and goddesses. Oh! Mason, did you say your seat, please? Luke?
The gods or the goddesses don't get the life won't come through.
Well, that's the bad You're not going to have any answers now. Your time is up. Closing the Schultz. Plus the talking the whole time I'm teaching. It's not cool. Alright, come on. Think about what happens to humans. What happens to all of us someday? Yes.
They never die.
Yes. Okay, their life is eternal. They are immortal. That was the word. So how are they different? Okay. I do want you to write down this word because it is a vocabulary word that we'll come back to on the show you know at the end of the unit. They are immortal. Okay? That means they never die. Their life is eternal. Humans, we are considered mortals. Yes, Parker.
Almost question number 4.
How are they different? They have emotions. Okay. Okay. Let's erase this. Now, start doing the opposite of what we do every other lesson. We're going to do the read aloud part now. Because last week we just took, so let's do a quick review of our 12 gods and goddesses here. Alright, so raise your hand if you know who one of these guys are. Or both of them. Really impressed me. Gavin, go ahead. Zeus, good. This one is Zeus. He rules over the brother. And you look cool and no, we'll get selected. Yeah. Okay, and who is this one who rules over the sea with a trident? Kevin.
I was just pressing my arm.
Okay, Brody, can you sit on your bottom, sweetie? Jordan, who's this one?
This is brother.
Yes, do you remember his name? By any chance, it's tricky. I wish I had one second grader remember the name all week at park. Poseidon.
Oh.
Luke?
Poseidon,
yes, good. Okay. Alright, raise your hand if you know this one is the other brother who is the one who rules over the underworld, the land of the dead. A with E.
No.
You're so close. What? Yes, it does start with an H. Hey. Yeah, good job. Hades, good. Alright, next. So here we have Zeus's wife and Zeus's sister.
I can't see
Okay.
the word.
This one, the one furthest away from me, this is Zeus's sister. She is known as Hera. This is Zeus's wife, who's kind of the queen of all the goddesses. Just use the mouse today. Okay. All right, this is one of those really tricky ones to pronounce. Do you remember? Hephaestus, say that. Good. He's the god of fire, blacksmith. This one was my favorite. Aphrodite. What is she the goddess of? Geraldine. Thank you for raising your hand. You got it. This one is the goddess of wisdom. Athena. Okay. This one is Ares, the god of what? Raise your hand if you remember. Raise your hand if you remember. Sean. Sean Raver, the god of what? What? What does it look like? This is a battle. What do you think he's the god of? Good. Okay, 4 more here. This is Apollo. Okay. So these two are twins. This is Apollo, the god of music and light. His twin sister, who is Ava? Yes, very good. Then we have Hermes, who is the messenger of the gods. So anytime any of the gods wanted to bring the message down to earth, that was his job to go to the humans. And finally, another one that I think is very hard to pronounce, Dionysus. Can you say that?
Dionysus.
Very good. The youngest of the gods and the god of wine. All right, so let's start today's story with two new brothers. Do you have a question, sweetie?
No.
Okay. All right. So these two brothers are Epimetheus and Prometheus. Crazy, right? Say Epimetheus. Prometheus. Good job, guys. I've been teaching this unit now. The second grade teachers used to teach it. I think this is my 4th year teaching it. I still have to sometimes remind myself of the pronunciation. Okay. So, Prometheus and Epimetheus means something in Greek. Okay. One of them means, so Prometheus means in Greek to foresight. That you're someone who looks ahead. So someone with foresight or looks ahead may be planning already their Easter holiday. Okay, if you have someone in your family like this who's really planning ahead. And then Epimetheus, Chase and Mila, hi. Epimetheus' name in Greek means hindsight. And what does that mean? Well, that means someone who's always looking back, reflective, like, oh man, I could have done better on this. Okay? Or, oh, I should have learned from this. So there are two kind of opposites, these brothers. One is a planner, and one's a looker-backer. Okay? Yes, sir.
Are they both really gods? One's gonna have the power of looking back, and one's gonna have the one of looking ahead?
Yes, you'll see. One gets into quite a bit of trouble. All right? We're going to start the story now. I just kind of wanted to book talk and introduce it to you. Yes, Kaylee? What? Avery, yes, what were you going to say, sweetie? Oh, so you can relate. Yeah. Listen, the good news is I don't expect anyone really to remember, and therefore you're not tested on at the end of the unit what Epimetheus and Prometheus mean, let alone pronounce it. That alone would be a big challenge, right? Okay. So, this myth is actually called Prometheus and Pandora. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of Pandora. Yeah, sometimes second graders have. Okay, cool. There's a very popular phrase that comes out of this myth known as Pandora's box. And today people still use it. You've probably heard it before, the couple of you that raised your hand. Because if you open Pandora's box, you're, looking for trouble. Okay? So, there you go. Okay. So, Prometheus and Pandora. Long ago, there were two brothers. Chase, I'm right here, Mason. There were two brothers that were named Prometheus and Epimetheus. Their names fit them perfectly. Prometheus means foresight, thinking ahead, like I said to you guys. And Epimetheus means, hands up for now, hindsight, or looking back, thinking afterward. Prometheus was quite clever and was always planning ahead in an effort to make things better for himself and for those around him. On the other hand, his brother Epimetheus was always doing foolish things without thinking. The ancient Greeks believed that it was Prometheus who first created human beings, and that it was his brother who made all of the other creatures on the earth. Zeus gave the two brothers gifts to give the living things. So, while Prometheus scooped up some river clay and began to make human beings in the likeness of the gods, so obviously the one who's crouching down further from me, that's Prometheus. Because you see how it looks like he's kind of making a human being?
Yeah.
Right? And if he's making it in the likeness of the gods, what do you think that means? Parker?
He was trying to see what he would look like as a god.
Yeah, he's trying to make the human that he's creating look like gods. Okay? And his brother Epimetheus made all sorts of animals and gave them all good gifts. So this is obviously Epimetheus, closer to you, right? The one standing, because it looks like he's creating some kind of an animal, almost like a goat or something to me.
Which one is the foolish one?
Epimetheus, they're saying, the one with the animals, the one that they're claiming is foolish right now. Foolish things without thinking. Because Epimetheus means doesn't think ahead, just looks back. So the animals, though, that he created, they could see, they could smell, they could hear better than humans. And they also had fur to keep them warm, unlike man who shivered in the cold, who had nothing. All right. Okay. That's working now. Hold on. I also want to just do it on my remote lesson too. Oh, oh. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Zeus, the king of all the gods. So he's the one kind of standing up there. You guys can see Zeus, right? Probably. Zeus, the king of all the gods, noticed all of these new animal creatures hopping and swimming and flying and growing and walking on the earth. Zeus told Epimetheus, "These toys of yours are quite amusing. Some of them make me laugh. Like that, what did you call it? An elephant? I mean, which I can see, you can actually see the elephant way off on the one side. And, I mean, can you imagine if you didn't know what an elephant was? It would probably make you laugh. I mean, it does sound like such a bizarre, first of all, you know, name, the way it looks, right? Noises it makes. What an imagination you have. Others are quite beautiful in their own way. This morning, I was watching your dolphins leap and play in the water. They are very graceful." To Prometheus, he said, "But these humans of yours, what are they good for? The other creatures are bigger, they're faster, stronger. Humans just sit around. I think you should get rid of them and try something else." Prometheus, however, had something in mind when he created humans. He suggested, "Please be patient, great Zeus. I think you will be surprised and pleased at how quickly humans can learn and how useful they can be. Why, I plan to teach them to pray to you, and wouldn't you like that?" So Zeus agreed that this sounded like a fine idea. "Very well, I will give humans time to prove that they are worthy. If they do not do so, however, you will have to get rid of them." What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Zeus is going to make Prometheus get rid of them?
I think so.
Or do you think, raise your hand for me? Or do you think he's going to be allowed to kind of keep them? And remember, this is before, if we all lived in ancient Greece, this is before there was scientists or explanation from how man and animals came to be on the earth. So this is the way Greeks made this up. Greeks really believed that there were these gods and goddesses like Prometheus and Epimetheus somewhere up in the heavens, right? That molded out of clay humans. And here we are today, molded out of clay animals. And that's how they showed up on the planet. That's really, truly what they did believe. That's where these Greek myths come from, okay? So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Zeus is going to be happy with Prometheus, who created humans? Happy with Epimetheus, who created the animals? Or do you think he's going to get mad over something? All right, I see I see 4 ideas. What do you think, Avery? Huh. Okay, Gavin, what do you think's gonna happen?
I think he's gonna like it. He's gonna teach them to pray, because how are we still alive?
Okay. All right, cool. What do you think, Luke?
I think I agree with Gavin.
Okay. Very cool. Jerry, what do you think?
When you said after lesson, I heard that you said one of the brothers are gonna get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Which one do you think is going to be the one who created the animals or the one who's created humans? Take a guess. You can't get it wrong. Make a prediction.
the one that makes
Okay, so that would be Prometheus. Cool.